Alright, today we're going to be looking at reflections from page 106 in your textbook. Now we're going to look at reflections about the x-axis, which means you multiply f of x by -1. Now, there's one thing I want to remind you. Y equals f of x. So that means we take our y coordinates and we multiply every y coordinate by -1 to find a reflection about the x-axis. So if I take this first one, the y coordinate is 0. If I multiply 0 by -1, I still have 0. So I will still have the point -5, 0. On my second point, I take the y coordinate -1 and multiply it by -1. -1 times -1 becomes +1. So we have the point 0, +1. And then I take the y coordinate of my third point, 2, multiply it by -1. 2 times -1 is -2, so I will have the point 4, -2. Alright, connect my dots. First one to the second to the third. We now have a reflection in the x-axis. To do a reflection about the y-axis, we're going to change colors here. Let's deal with a nice red. What we need to do is replace the x with -x. In other words, change the sign of the x coordinate. So if I take the first point, -5, 0, changing the sign of -5, it becomes +5. So I now would have +5, 0. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. +5, 0 is going to be on it. Alright, back to my original coordinate of 0, -1. Well, the x coordinate is 0. To change the sign of 0, it's still 0. So this point did not change. 0, -1. And then my last point, 4, 2, change the sign of the x coordinate from +4 to -4. So I go left 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I go up 2. And this point is 4, 2. Connect my dots. And we have now a reflection in the y-axis. So remember, when we must replace the x with -x to have it reflect in the y-axis. To have a reflection in the x-axis, we multiply the y coordinates by -1. It's the opposite of what it normally would sound. And that's all we have on reflections.